Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. It's like a Warlord, the Stash. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Great to see you. I know it's been iffy. I've been here. I've been there. For those of you that know me from the programming stuff, hello. This is what I normally do on the internet, which is talk crap when it's appropriate and justified about certain companies in a certain space known as Web3. So we've got a lot of things going on. We've had a lot of things that have changed over the past couple months. I have been here. Stash Jr.'s in town. We got things going on everywhere. But let's talk about why you clicked on this video. We're going to talk about the result of BGP, aka Gala Games, suing Gamedia, the creator of Spider Tanks. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you the end of the story here. The case was dismissed, and we'll look at why. We'll look at what I had said previously. We'll look at the official statement from the CEO of the founder of Gamedia, and you know, we've got a lot of things to talk about. We've got all the crazy stuff going on with Telegram. Benny saying they got 2 million new users from Telegram, even though those are all bots, and they have a clicker game that is somehow the face of Gala, according to them. You know, we used to have Miranda's Spider Tanks, and now we have a clicker game that you just auto-click, and you're not even playing it. It's for some new coin called Trez they're going to pump. You got Bitbender fled to China. You got Peter Molyneux rugging everybody. You got the Miranda's team getting kicked out. New Chilean team, excuse me. They put out a demo that was bad from what I heard. Nothing has changed. I think the Miranda's team got a demo out. 8-Bit played. 8-Bit got banned by Benefactor from Discord. Got a lot of stuff going on. Hold on. There we go. Hey, that's what you want. Want some exciting content. Gotta die sometime. All right, let's get into it. All right, that shit slaps. Okay, so this is my current situation. I've got a hurricane bearing down on me. So I'm gonna get this out. I've got some homework to do, and then I'll be streaming later until the hopefully don't lose internet tonight, but we'll see. Such is life. So we have two videos here. Official statement from Gamedia, Spider Tanks creator, and shocking lawsuit update, Gamedia versus Gala Games. So let's look at the shocking update. Let's go ahead and unmute myself. Basically, the last time we looked at this, it was quick. Well, I think everybody got it. That was May 24th. Okay. Essentially, we had a motion to dismiss. So this was filed by Gamedia, and they said there was a breach of contract. So this was we went over all this. Okay. Blockchain Gaming Partners is the name for Gala Games. That's their parent company. And what's most interesting about this is that they filed in California, which you notice here they're a Wyoming corporation. Gamedia is from the Netherlands. They're Dutch. So it was weird that they had chose to file in California when, if we look at their other lawsuits, they're either in Utah or Wyoming. The two that come to mind. So it was odd. It was odd, and I believe I called that out in the video. We have the prima facie, which was one of the big fancy words we learned about. But ultimately, Gamedia's argument was Gala broke their contract. California has no interest in litigating the dispute between a Wyoming corporation and a Dutch corporation. They had two fundamental arguments, and those were that they did not have jurisdiction, California, and that they were never properly served. That was their two of their arguments, and they had a bunch of other stuff. Again, I'm not going to go through all that. I'm going to link all those documents down below if you want to check them out yourself. Let's see what I had to say. Final thoughts. Leave everybody alone. We're going to let this handle out, let it roll out. What do I think? I think what I always thought. Gala, I don't trust. Gala's the problem. I think Gamedia has got him by the cojones here. What did we do wrong? We did everything we said we were going to do. Gala, you failed. Surprise, surprise. Benefactor is the problem. who's shocked about that? Who? There you go. So that's what I said. We also have the official statement from DITTMAR, the CEO, founder, creator of Gamedia. And the public statement, he basically apologized for everything. However, he says that they did their best. Gala failed. You can also go over this if you want. I'm going to link both of these down below if you guys want to check it. He did mention that Benny was busy buying jets. I forgot what that was. I want to find that. That was really good. All right, here you go. Spending millions on fruitless celebrity partnerships, jets, and real estate. So this was DITTMAR calling out Benny for his actions, like a lot of us have. And, you know, we had our surprise guest appearance at the end by old B-Pain here. So, you know, we can throw that one at the end as well. And what was the Gamedia tweet that we looked at? Let's see. Here we go. So they posted the updated themselves. This was back in May, okay? Now, let's fast forward to where we're at now. We have this final motion right here, which was filed yesterday. The last one we looked at was back in May. Basically, I've downloaded all of this, okay? All that matters at the end of the day is that it was dismissed. So we're going to look at that. I'm going to include all these documents if you want to go through them. The one thing I came away by reading this is that there was something in there where the judge said there are things that we believe that Gamedia may have done wrong or did do wrong, but it wasn't done maliciously or it wasn't done to harm Gala. And I thought that one was interesting. So we'll see what happens. I doubt that Gala's going to try and refile this. They might. I mean, Benny does stupid shit all the time. But where would they file it at this point, right? They'd have to file it in Netherlands? In the Netherlands? I don't know. So we'll go ahead. I know, just in case you want to get to the nitty gritty here, this is the final order, and it talks about the plaintiff. Defendant made the branded game. Defendant made a public announcement that it was ready for the next stage. Plaintiff raised this issue. Plaintiff contends the defendant's assertions are in bad faith. Okay, legal standard. It looks to determine whether a court possesses personal jurisdiction over defendant. So basically, why this case was dismissed is because the judge determined that he and the district court in California does not have jurisdiction to preside over this case between Gala, a Wyoming company, and Gamedia, a Dutch company, right? The court has general jurisdiction over foreign defendants to hear all claims against them when their affiliations with the forum state are continuous and systematic as to render them essentially at home in the forum state. So there is a precedent for California to have jurisdiction over a foreign entity, but the thing is they have to actually do a lot of business in California. And one of the things I remember going over was that Gala was saying because we had a Slack call or a Slack conversation with someone, or you talk to someone who lives in California or operates out of California, that means that Gamedia operates out of California, which I thought was stupid, and so does the judge. It goes on more to say, to decide whether it exercised personal jurisdiction over defendant, the court may rely on declarations and documentary evidence submitted by the parties, which they did. The court assumes that uncontroverted allegations in the plaintiff's complaint are true and conflicts between parties' declarations are resolved in the plaintiff's favor. So, defendant is from the Netherlands. The court must determine whether they have jurisdiction over it. Ninth Court applies a three-part test. So the first part is they must purposely direct their activities or consummate some transaction with the forum, so with California, or a resident thereof, or perform some action by which he purposely avails himself the privilege of conducting activities in this forum. So he has to take advantage of what California affords to his businesses. The claim must be one which arises out of or relates to the defendant's forum related. So it has to be related to things they did in California, and then the exercise of jurisdiction must comport with fair play and substantial justice, i.e. must be reasonable. And I think that's Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Fred Martin Motor Company. I'm not sure what that is. Is that Ford Motor Company? Who knows? The first two prongs, the burden of proof falls on the plaintiff. Okay, for the first prong, the court determines whether the defendant's conduct constitutes purposeful direction or purposeful availment. So, skipping all the legal precedents, courts consider the extent of the defendant's contacts with the forum state and those contacts relationships to the plaintiff's claims, which may mean looking at both purposeful availment and purposeful direction. Okay, Because the parties address both the purposeful direction test and the purposeful availment test, the court looks at both these tests in determining specific jurisdiction over the defendant. The court finds that specific jurisdiction over defendant is lacking under either test. Plaintiff's claims against the defendant involve virtually no California-specific conduct by the defendant that could establish purposeful direction. So basically, Gala failed to prove that Gamedia did all these things in California and thus would give California jurisdiction to sue them. Okay? Not establish purposeful direction. They go over that. Plaintiff has shown intentional acts here. So this is the problem I was talking about. Okay. Plaintiffs has shown intentional acts but does not establish that defendant expressly aimed these intentional acts at California. So that's the only part that I could see where you could say, okay, maybe Gamedia did something wrong here, because they say that they did do these acts, but they weren't aimed at California. Excuse me a second. So what are those acts? Those acts were that they did agree, they got into a contract together, they ceased support for the branded game, refuses to develop it, provide the court source code, and the defendant used the branded game in its marketing video despite the plaintiff's exclusive right to the branded game. And this judge says that while it seems that they did do that, it was not expressly aimed to be done in California, therefore California wouldn't have jurisdiction. They assert there was intentional acts expressly aimed at California when the agreement was executed because the plaintiff's CEO and development team were all working and living in California. The defendant primarily worked with California-based development team in the branded game. Defendant was aware that it was collaborating with members of plaintiff's California development team who had involved duties. Defendant attended virtual meetings and had frequent conversations with the development team based in California. Defendant contacted plaintiff's California employees. Defendant engaged in Okay, so he did all these things, right? Plaintiff has not shown the joint press release was directed at California. So they were talking about a press release where Gamedia used some footage of Spider Tanks, which Gala was saying it's our property. And while the joint press release was released in California, there is no evidence that the press release was directly directed towards California specifically or circulated to deliberately exploit the California market because it was worldwide. So even though it was shown in California, it wasn't worldwide. Because of the lack of express aiming is dispositive, the court need not address the other elements of the purposeful direction test. Okay, purposeful availment. We're going to skip over this. Where a contract envisions only the plaintiff discharging the obligations in the form state and not the defendant, it will support specific jurisdiction. Concerning these factors, this court disagrees with the plaintiff that the defendant has purposely availed itself of the benefits and protections of California to establish personal jurisdiction of the defendant. So they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough in California to rate California rate. The contacts identified by the court out of state representative, contract negotiations with plaintiff's representatives, California choice of law clause in the agreement, defendant's knowledge the plaintiff has an office in California, several routine business communications between defendant and plaintiff, a jointly published press release in California, a partnership with a California resident hip-hop artist to promote its nationally accessible game. You remember Snoop. The court finds that these contacts are insubstantial and taken together inadequate to establish purposeful availment. Plaintiff does not allege that the defendant had any California contacts before the parties' agreement. When plaintiff contacted defendant about the branded game, defendant had no offices, facilities, employees, or agents in the United States. Plaintiff never advertised its game in California. The parties dispute who made this initial solicitation. Plaintiff provides the declarations of Benny, Blake Walker, so those declarations, because they live in California. All right. According to the letter, expressed interest in discussing business opportunity. Okay. Thus, the contract negotiations here do not show defendant intended to avail itself of the benefits of doing business in California. Additionally, plaintiff's assertion that defendant availed itself California is insufficient to specific personal jurisdiction. So basically, at the end of the day, they didn't do enough. Course of dealings. Okay, plaintiff also agrees. We don't care about any of that. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, the court grants the defendant's motion to dismiss without prejudice and without leave to amend. Because the court lacks authority to grant a preliminary injunction when it lacks personal jurisdiction over a defendant, the court denies the plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction. The court hereby dismisses this action. It is so ordered. Let's read that again. Denied. 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 Dismissed. Dismissed. Denied. Dismissed. Denied. Dismissed. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. That's all you need to know. It's dismissed. Now, again, I could go over all this other stuff. I've got all these other documents. I'm going to upload them so you guys can see. I paid for them on Pacer, so you guys can have them if you want them. Just know that the ultimate decision was made that California does not have jurisdiction over Gamedia to go forward with this lawsuit. So it doesn't say who's right and who's wrong. It just says that Gala can't sue Gamedia in California, at least the way they're doing it right now. So do they try again? Maybe somewhere else. But I always thought it was weird they chose California, probably because they had some slimy ass lawyers or some weird ass law they thought they were trying to subterfuge. But at the end of the day, the Honorable Andre BIROTTE Jr. whipped his old dick out and slapped it on Benny's forehead once again. Our boy Andre BIROTTE Jr. Look at that guy. Look at this guy. Look, this dude. This dude said. Denied. That's my boy. He said, "Fuck you, Benny. You stupid bitch." He called you a stupid bitch, Benny. What, you gonna ban him from your Discord too? All right, Andre BIROTTE Jr., hero of the day. Now, unfortunately, what does this mean for Spider Tanks going forward? I don't know. I think Gamedia would be best focusing on some of its other stuff. Stoda was their like spider, like tank sort of battle. I don't know if you guys ever saw Stoda. Let's see if I can find one real quick. That looks super cool. I remember talking to him in at Galaverse about it. So Stoda one looks super cool. Let's see if I can get out of the way again. Get out of here. Okay, so there's Spider Tanks. So here's Stoda. Let's look at this real quick. This to me looks super cool. Like a mech spider, but you can like climb up the walls and stuff. It looks super cool. Let's get to some gameplay. So like this looks cool to me. This looks cooler than Spider Tanks. I'm gonna be straight up. I never hated Spider Tanks, but I never played it and felt like I wanted to keep playing it. Not that it's bad, not that it's just not my cup of tea, right? This looks, to me, way cooler. And I'm hoping that they continue to progress on this. So, as far as what you can do, if anyone from Gamedia wants to reach out, you guys want to make a statement on my channel, I'd be more than happy to have you. Or if you want me to share a statement from you guys, I'd be more than happy to do that as well. I would assume, just stay tuned and we'll hear news about what they're going to be able to do moving forward. I would assume Spider Tanks is over. I don't know. Maybe they come up with arachnid bots or something. I don't know. I don't know what they do. But at the end of the day, Benny lost once again because he's a piece of shit. I was right once again. See it? You see it? Remember that. All right. You got any questions? You can leave them down below. I'm gonna leave my Google Drive doc link for all this down below, as well as the 2 videos I went over stuff previously. That way you guys can get access to it. Discord is the easy way to get a hold of me. That link's going to be down below. The links if you want to support the channel. I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to get my homework done and hopefully maybe get another video or 2 recorded software-wise, programming. But I'll be streaming. So, wish me luck. Hurricanes are brewing. We'll see what happens. I love you all. Thank you for being here. I'm Lycan Warlord. The Stash. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana.
I think Lycan is the best person I've ever seen. Like I've never seen anyone so amazing. You know, and I've mentioned this before. Lycan's a fantastic person. Really, really, really cool.
I get tired of stupidity at this level. I'm giving yo money and I'm the devil. I got 50 divs working hard, so suck my dick. I literally have guys so stressed they're getting sick. You're a fucking parasite that don't care about the game. You better recognize this band Hummer's got auto wing. I feel fucking bad for weeds unless I bend someone, because my dick weighs fucking more than a gross ton. How you fucking feeling about the drop of us trolls? I'm not a fish man, but I do like avocado rolls. Some asshole decided to crochet on Gala. Fuck him, I'll send them straight to Gala. Don't fucking point out every Gala shortcoming. Step the fuck back, season distant coming. This isn't the forum where you guys do bitch, so be careful, I got a serious man itch. Stop your bitching, you're all bitching. The wine and bitching, fucking would stop bitching. This is our house, fucking don't be an asshole. Business plan, don't be a fucking asshole. Yes, that is me you are talking about, home slice. And I'm banned for that without thinking twice. I know I'm not a fucking people pleaser, but as promised, here is a little dragon teaser.
I suppose it's time for an AMA, I guess.
Ooh, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I want to shout out my Patreons from Patreon, and my new YouTube members as well. I got that going. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so very much. Your help has been crucial to keeping me alive and keep streaming and keep helping and hopefully entertaining you along the way. Anything I can do to make it more worth your while, please let me know down below. Also, you can find me on my Discord. I have my Discord server link down below, Patreon links down below, and then membership should be somewhere around here. Thank you all so very, very much. I really appreciate you. And I look forward to the future, and I hope you will come along for this journey with me. Thank you. Take care.